Nurses who never worked in a hospital before is considered not a nurse. How dumb does that sound? Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are here for the first time, my name is Patrice M. Foster. I'm so happy to have you on board. Thank you for your support. For those who have come and go, you're still welcome. And to my long-term supporter, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to present to you, I was just thinking, because I heard a comment, I overheard. I was on the train. Yes, I took a train ride in New York, and I overheard a nurse. I assume she's a nurse because she was dressed in uniform. And never assume everybody is in uniform is a nurse. Anyway, she was saying, I think she asked, like they normally when you see another nurse, what's your specialty? Where do you work? And she said, I work at home. And I've never worked in a hospital. And the expression in the other nurse face was amazing to me because a lot of nurses, and I'm speaking not only nurses, a lot of people think that if you're not working in the hospital, you are not deserving of respect. We don't get it anyway. And you only hear it from me. But the mentality is you're not a nurse. I remember a while back, and sometime it comes and go, my family members used to say, oh, you're a psych nurse. You're not really a nurse. It wasn't until the pandemic and I was out there, psych nurses got a low level of elevation. I won't say respect, I'll just say elevation. And they started looking at me differently because I went out and embraced the pandemic, so they speak. Oh, you're a real nurse now. That's the comment I get. I can imagine how that person felt because sometimes there's a way that you devalue a person. Oh, you're not a real nurse. What's the difference? Yeah, we know that ICU, like a lot of people think ICU nurse, ER nurse, they're the top nurse. They save life. We all save life in certain areas. I consider myself, before psych, I was a registered nurse that works in the hospital as a med-surg nurse. That was where they throw me because I wanted mother baby, but mother baby is locked down by Caucasian nurse. It's very difficult to get in, and it's very difficult for them to leave. So I accepted the med-surg. And I learned a lot of skill, but I came in with skill. And I've heard LPN saying, I was an LPN, that when they graduate from RN school, it was difficult to get in the hospital. It wasn't difficult for me because I came from Philadelphia. And if Philadelphia nurses, LPN out there, you can comment and let me know if I'm telling the truth or not. The nursing home, it was like a mini hospital, but you getting 60 patients. Now they break it down to 30. They might have gone to 20 because I haven't worked in Philadelphia nursing home in a while. But imagine, take a moment, imagine 60 patient IVs in every room, wounds this big, and you have to do it yourself. There is no wound care nurse. There's no IV team. You have to do it yourself. And the next shift coming on, thank God it was 8-hour shifts. I wish it was 12. That way you work 3 days, but it was 8 hours, 5 days a week. You're stuck. Admission coming left and right. Think about it. Blood, you giving blood in the nursing home. Yes, everything. We've been through it. So they hire me. That's what I want to say. Because I had the skill coming in as an LPN. I've been there, done that. The hospital seems easy for me when I got there in med-surg. But after a while, med-surg, 60 patient was hard. Med-surg become harder. And the only reason I would see it becoming harder, because you always running, and you run in the nursing home too, but you may give one meds, the doctor change it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, he's calling you, give this, give that, give. So you can never get out of that one room to go do the other 6 or 8 patients that you have. That's the difficulty. You can't get a break. It was the same way in the nursing home. So it depends on where you live. As an LPN, if you've been working in a nursing home that's just long-term, no rehab connected to it, or just a basic nursing home where the people look smiling and assisted living, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of the reasons now, 2022, a lot of LPN who became RN, unless you have a BSN, it's going to be difficult to get into some hospital because they set the bar high. You have to have a BSN to work in the hospital now. The ones that has an associate degree in nursing, the hospital gave them a choice. You have like 1 year or 2 years to get your BSN, or find a job somewhere else. That's the bottom line. I don't know the reason why, but I know that, and I've said it in several videos. A friend of mine, that's how, when I was getting my BSN, and I didn't even think this was going to happen, and then a friend of mine said that she had to leave her hospital in Philadelphia because she didn't have her BSN. She has now gotten her BSN. She wished she had, come on board when I was going, but my situation was entirely different. I know if I had just become an RN at Bucks County Community College and just say, I'm not going back and I'm going to sit there and I have my associate, I have my RN, the real thing you need to function. But the opportunity came and I just went, I'm going to do this, BSN. Now they might say you have to have your master's, because I was working with a lot of master's nurses. And I'm like, why are you here? I mean, you could do more. So BSN is the thing now. So if you're in school, keep going and just get your BSN, because the associate is not going to work in any hospital. I don't know about the South. So getting back to nurse never work in a hospital. I met some of those nurses during the pandemic in New York. I didn't understand why did they subject themselves to that. But that's here and now. It's over. It doesn't mean that they're not a nurse. They just have to update their skills. And there are many nurses that has never worked in the hospital, and they're happy with that. They're happy being the clinic nurse. the nurse at the doctor's office. Incidentally, I tried the doctor's office. I worked for this doctor. I think he was more, I see things I didn't like, and it was time for me to move on. I don't think I was a nurse at the time. I was just trying to see. I think I was an LPN. I was in Philadelphia, and I work at the doctor's office, and it wasn't for me. So they work in doctor's office. They work in some nurses that work at home. They do case management, and that's a field that is growing now that the pandemic. A lot of nurses are going into that field, and I may I may try to get in. I've been trying to get in because I would love to work at home. And various other things. They work in administration. So there are some nurses that never ever work. When they say they don't work in the hospital, they don't even work in the nursing home. They just go straight from taking their boards, working at home, or work at a doctor's office. What's the pay for working in the doctor's office? Quite less, because you're just not doing as much. Will you lose your skill? Will you lose your skill just working in a doctor's office, pertaining, or just working at home? Yes, you will lose your skill, but it depends on what skills that you had to begin with. They always recommend that when you get out of school, you should do med-surg. Med-surg is that, I don't know what to describe med-surg. It's like everything combined. Every disease combined together end up on the med-surg floor. And that's one of the reasons why mother-baby nurses cannot function when they get to med-surg, because the skill level has decreased. Whereas if I go to mother baby, they will, and I have float to mother baby, which I wanted to be there full time. That's before I went into psych. And they just let me do vital signs for the mother, may give a Tylenol, Motrin, or just help the mother. They don't let me do anything else. So not working in a hospital, never work in a hospital, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you are less than a nurse. If you're in nursing school now, and in nursing school, you get to go through several phases. Several unit, you get psych nursing, you get OB, you get all the clinical specialty, because they're going to be on the boards at some point. And that's when you determine what you want or what unit you would like to work on. I don't think I choose psych at the time. I don't even think I choose anything. I was just happy that I became an RN and was just continuing on. I did not come out of nursing school like many and said, I'm not going to work at the nursing home, because that was what I used to. So I continued working until I decided I want to broaden my horizon. So let me try the hospital. And hospital has helped me get many a travel. My skill helped me with travel nursing. But there are travel nursing positions for nursing home too, if that's what you want. Any nurse who has never worked in a hospital, you don't have to be considered, you are a nurse. So don't let what people say get under your skin. You do what makes you happy. And that's the bottom line for 2022. It means not working in a hospital, you are not consider a nurse. You are still a nurse. You will know what to do in emergency when it kicked in. At least I hope so. I'm going to leave you here today and say, be happy. Do what you like, and you will continue to have happiness flowing in your life. Remember to subscribe, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell until it says all so that you can know when I post.